Hi, my name is Pablo de los Santos from the Prepa Tech Campus Santa Catarina with the ID of A0119296 from the group 402, and I will be solving the problem 103, which is, given the function of y equals 4e raised to 2x plus 5 over x cubed minus x raised to 5, find d cubed y over dx cubed. So, the first thing we need to do is copy the original function. The first thing we need to do is find the derivative, which is, first, we multiply the derivative of the exponent of e times 4. Since the derivative of 2x is 2, we multiply 2 times 4, which will give us 8e 2x. The exponent of e doesn't change. Now, we pass the x cubed to the top, which will give us 5x negative 3, minus we multiply the exponent of 5 times the invisible one that is here, which will give us minus 5x 4, since we subtract 1 from the exponent of x. The next step we need to do is to multiply the negative 3 times 5, which will give us negative 15x negative 4, since we subtract 1 from the exponent of x. The final step of the first derivative is to pass the x raised to a negative 4 to the bottom, which will give us negative 15 over x to the 4th minus 5x4. The next step is to find the second derivative of the function, which is, first, we multiply the derivative of the exponent of e times 8, which will give us 16e raised to 2x. Now we pass the x to the 4th to the top again, which will give us negative 15x to the negative 4. And now we multiply the exponent of 4 times the 5 in here, which will give us negative 20x to the 3rd, since we subtract 1 from the exponent of x. The next step is to multiply the negative 4 times the negative 16, which will give us a positive 60x minus 5, since we subtract 1 from the exponent of x. Now we need to again lower the x to the negative 5 to the bottom, which will give us 60x to the 5 minus 20x cubed. Then the final step is to find the third derivative. In here, to find the third derivative, we multiply the exponent of e times 16, which will give us 32e 2x plus 60, we pass the x to the 5 to the top, 60x minus to the negative 5. Now we multiply the exponent of x, which is 3 times the negative 20, which will give us negative 60x2, since we subtract 1 from the exponent of x. Now we need to multiply the negative 5 times 60, which will give us negative 300x to the negative 6, since we subtract 1 from the exponent of x. Now the final step is to lower the x to the negative 6 to the bottom, which will give us negative 300 over x to the 6 minus 60x squared. And this is how we find the third derivative of the original function.